Bad weather and mudslides claim many lives in KZN. The G20 finance ministers meeting kicks off with news the US Secretary of Treasury won't be coming.
Our hearts are shattered by the loss of these innocent lives, cruelly taken after suffering in captivity at the hands of Hamas.
Pain and anguish as Hamas hands over the bodies of 4 Israeli hostages, the youngest 9 months old. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
The eThekwini Metro Municipality says 4 people have been confirmed dead as a result of the severe weather conditions in Durban. eThekwini is one of the hardest hit areas by severe rains yesterday.
The adverse weather experienced in the city led to the collapse of formal and informal structures, with reports of entrapments being attended to by authorities. 4 fatalities were reported in Efolweni, KwaMakhutha, Demat, and Ntsimbini after a wall collapsed while the occupants were asleep.
3 bodies have been recovered from the rubble of some of the homes brought down by mudslides and heavy rains in the province. Emergency services have been responding to 2 separate incidents in KwaMakhutha and Adams Mission areas in the south of Durban. Emergency services in Johannesburg are on high alert as heavy rains persist across the metro, and people in Hammanskraal have been wading through waters knee-high.
From our side, as the City of Johannesburg Emergency Management Services, we still remain on high alert, monitoring all 7 regions of the city for any emergencies which might occur.
And in the Western Cape, windy conditions and high temperatures continue to hamper firefighting efforts in Wellington. Multiple fires broke out in the Cape Winelands earlier this week, with a blaze that started on Oakland's farm posing the most problems. The G20 foreign ministers meeting kicked off in Johannesburg today.
Just as cooperation supported the progress of early humans, our modern-day challenges can only be resolved through collaboration, through partnership, through dialogue, and through solidarity. This is why South Africa has placed as its theme for the G20 the issues of solidarity, equality, and sustainability. These are at the center of South Africa's presidency of the G20.
With the news that the US Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, won't be attending the gathering next week. Bessent had previously confirmed his attendance, but he posted on X today saying due to obligations in Washington, he won't be coming. This is the second secretary from the US to reject an invite to South Africa. Bessent is following in the footsteps of the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. South Africa's government says it doesn't foresee any problems in its G20 working relationship with the United States. Researchers such as the Institute of Security Studies, Priyal Singh, have suggested that Pretoria must adopt a change of tactic when dealing with Washington.
There needs to be this wholesale kind of engagement between government officials across the full spectrum of departments and arms of states within South Africa with their counterparts in the United States, just so that we can get a better read of the situation, and there can be multiple engagements that don't necessarily flow through an official diplomatic track.
The Special Tribunal has declared a 600 million rand contract by the Gauteng government to upgrade a private hospital unlawful. The tribunal handles matters of corruption, referred to it by the Special Investigative Unit. In 2021, provincial government entered into a contract to upgrade the Anglo Gold Ashanti Hospital to treat COVID-19 patients. The initial agreement was set at 60 million rand, but it ballooned to 600 million rand, with only 147 patients treated in the botched deal. The Gauteng government announced earlier this month it has dismissed 5 senior officials for questionable involvement in the deal.
The order comes after the Special Investigating Unit applied to the tribunal to set aside these contracts and recover the state's losses. The tribunal ordered on the 18th of February 2025 to review and set aside multiple decisions made by the Gauteng Department of Health and the Gauteng Department of Infrastructure Development.
The South African Jewish community is mourning the loss of the two youngest Israeli captives who were kidnapped by the militant group Hamas. The remains of the family, believed to be Shiri Bibas and her two sons, along with Obed Lifshitz, were handed over by Hamas today. Ariel Kiffer Bibas and their mother had become a national symbol of grief as they were taken on the 7th of October 2023 when Hamas launched its attack on Israel.
The image of Shiri Bibas shielding her children with fierce strength are forever etched in our collective memory, an example of courage and maternal love in the face of unimaginable terror. Our hearts are shattered by the loss of these innocent lives, cruelly taken after suffering in captivity at the hands of Hamas.
The DA says if it was in charge of the Gauteng government, it would conduct lifestyle audits on all MECs and make the results public. The official opposition party has been holding a media briefing in Johannesburg to present what it calls the True State of the Nation address. This is part of a long-held tradition for the opposition party to hold an alternative SOPA ahead of the official one, which will be presented by Premier Panyaza Lesufi next week. DA Gauteng leader Solly Msimanga says the Gauteng province has regressed under Lesufi's leadership and he's failed to conduct lifestyle audits on his cabinet despite multiple promises to do so.
A DA government will also conduct regular lifestyle audits and make the results of the audit public. As I said, will further make sure that all MECs are fit for duty and will be appointed. By doing so, the residents of this province will receive the service delivery that they deserve.
Joburg Mayor Dada Morero has expressed shock at attempts to sabotage his tenure in the city's highest office. An article by the Star newspaper suggests that it's in possession of some audio recordings of some city officials planning to destabilize his leadership. Two mayoral committee members, two ANC officials and a Rand Water employee are allegedly heard in the recording plotting against the mayor.
Joburg Mayor Dada Morero has faced a challenging start to his second stint as the city's number one, with water supply issues being his primary concern. It's alleged that those conspiring against him intended to cut off the city's supply for an extended period to undermine his leadership and portray him as ineffective. In a statement, Morero says this appears as a political plot to make the city ungovernable and strip him of his authority. He says he will explore legal options and may involve law enforcement to investigate. Meanwhile, Morero says Joburg Water has indicated that reservoir levels have dramatically recovered as the city grapples with a shortage. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
And here's something to look forward to. In celebrating 10 years, Ultra South Africa welcomes back Martin Garrix. Garrix is more than just a DJ, despite his music. He's an industry titan, a game changer and a visionary. Not only would the continent's premier electronic music festival return to Mzansi for its historic 10th edition in May 2025, but he'll also do so at a very competitive price, selling tickets at 2014 prices. Thanks for watching with us. We'll see you for more again tomorrow.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.